Alright, it's Christopher Fox once again, and this is a request assignment for Jordan. And the name of this video is, Should We Scare Our Kids? Should we? I don't know. Let's check it out. Yay. Got Jack Skellington. Here we go. It's the Halloween one of nostalgia critic drugs. Ooh. Pennywise. Kinda looks like Robot Chicken.
Hello, I'm the nostalgia guy. Remember it so you don't have to. Why do we like to scare the shit out of our kids? In particular, I'm talking about kids' movies. Yeah, we got a lot of things that are bright.
Oh, Barney, he's
don't have
creepy
anything
too.
at least that's threatening in them. But then we have movies like Return to Oz.
Yeah, that movie was creepy as hell.
Coraline.
You're going to stay here.
These are good movies though.
Matilda.
Would little Brucey come up here, please?
And
Yeah, when you look at Matilda nowadays, it's a pretty messed up movie, man. She literally put her in a chokey.
of course a countless amount from several Disney animated features.
Has no head.
Some of these films have warranted PG ratings, but others, mostly in Disney's case, still seem to get away with a G rating. Meaning scenes like this,
Or was this a cartoon?
or this.
This was fucked up. You never turn back into a human either.
Child-friendly for boys and girls of all ages. Bullshit! This fuck scares me even now.
Some of it scares
so
me,
many
not much.
scary moments not shied away from in so many kids' films? Isn't the idea of showing your kids a movie either to educate or just keep them happily entertained for a bit? Seems like these, most kids would either cry or piss their pants at.
The crap is in these movies ain't even scratching the surface on what's worse on fucking YouTube. These kind of movies are fucking saint and child friendly as hell compared to the shit that kids watch on YouTube nowadays.
So why are they in so many family movies? And more importantly, how come we're really not that bothered by it? Going way back to the famous Grimm's fairy tales, most stories intended for children seem to focus on the extreme dark and the extreme violent. Yeah, when you read the original Red Riding Hood or Hansel and Gretel, you'll find they're pretty fucked up.
They
But
are.
at the very least, albeit in kind of a twisted way, they were used to scare many kids into remembering whatever life lesson it was trying to teach. Don't trust strangers, don't be too selfish, etc. So scaring kids to get a point across isn't anything new. Well, some
It's not.
claim that Disney's renditions of these
There's no
fairy
some
tales would
R-rated
suck down
movie
the
like
harshness
fucking
of
Nightmare on Elm Street or
telling
something.
Still take a look at some of this imagery from, say, Snow White, their first animated feature.
Yeah, that's so
It's
creepy.
still pretty intense for little kids. And, like I said before, Disney has never been a company to shy away from the scary moments. But what makes these
Yeah,
moments
I
even
hated this
stranger
kind of
than
stuff when I was
something
younger, I'm
like
not gonna
these fairy
lie.
tales is that these aren't used to teach kids any lessons.
This stuff was fucked up. I hated this kind of stuff when I was younger, but now I fucking love it.
They're usually there just to emphasize how threatening the villains are or how frightening the world can be. Hell, in some kids' movies, even that's not needed.
Hold on, guys. Let's see if I can make it in the trash can. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Yes!
I still don't know what the purpose of that freaky tunnel from Willy Wonka was all about. The director said it was just to give a hint that there was something kind of off and creepy about the chocolate factory.
Are the fires of hell a-glowing?
Yeah.
This
But
isn't a hint. This is a fucking jackhammer of terror into your head. But
it's a
even
classic,
then,
though.
the truth is, you can get across fear to a child with very little. Because they're so young, it doesn't
Santa
take that
ain't
much to
scary.
intimidate them. Yet so many films go to such extremes to make sure you don't forget the frightening moments, even if it's not teaching anything and
That's
the rest
creepy.
of the movie is completely upbeat and friendly.
Polar Express, that ain't scary about
Why
that.
have them in there? Well, I started to think back to when I was little watching something
That scared me
scary
too,
scenes.
this
Every
fucking
once in a
movie.
while I hit something that was a little too intense for me, but to be fair, that was usually a PG-13 or R-rated movie.
Aliens,
But the
that's a
quote-unquote
classic.
family-friendly shit-your-pants moments I found I was scared by, but I still kept watching them. Not only that, I found I watched them a lot. I loved Return to Oz as a kid. I adored the Headless Horseman.
I loved all
really
these
enjoyed
too.
those creepy Disney moments I both
Pretty Little
dreaded and
Toaster,
looked
yep.
forward to at the same time. Never once did I ever turn off the TV. So I started to ask myself, what did I like about them? I found there were three things I felt when watching those moments. One was an adrenaline rush. Kids like to be excited. That's why they imagine adventures to go on and new dangers to go up against. It's thrilling and fun. It's all part of being a kid.
Yeah.
And putting yourself in those extreme dangers leads me to the second emotion I felt: hope. We're always used to seeing the heroes in great peril, and the greater the peril, the more you want to see the hero get out of it. And the more menacing and scary the things the main character has to go through are, the more you'll appreciate the happy ending that most kids' films deliver. You can see this a lot in many Don Bluth movies. It was
Moving
rare
for a
that he used
time,
to
I
say
love that
you
movie
can show
too.
anything to a child as long as it has a happy ending. And oddly enough, I think there is some truth to that. An American Tail, for example, has a lot of scary imagery and a lot of intense moments. In fact, it's
I never
the majority
watched
of the
this.
friggin' movie. But by God, doesn't it feel so good at the end when it's all over? Isn't that family reuniting just the most joyful thing you ever saw after being put through so much hardship? But the secret to making that work
Yeah,
is
the movie was
balancing the
creepy.
scares
Christmas
out.
Carol.
And sometimes too many dark moments can work against a movie's intentions. Disney's Christmas Carol with Jim Carrey, while not an awful movie, relishes so much in the dark moments that it often forgets to let us enjoy the
I
happy
liked it.
moments.
I
Christmas
saw that
Carol
movie in
is a
theaters
dark
too.
story, but it balances out
Back in the
with
day.
plenty of scenes relishing in the joyful spirit of humanity. Here, the dark moments are so heavy that the joyful moments are almost glanced over. So
But
it
that
just
movie
turns
really
into
scared
overkill.
me though.
Now, something like Coraline,
Coraline was a
balances
scary
it
movie
out
for
better
sure.
because despite the character certainly having her
But it was
selfish
good.
moments, we can see what a good-hearted soul she is
I
and
actually
how
own
much
this
she loves
movie.
her family and what they mean to her. And on top of that, there are plenty of upbeat, whimsical moments too. So even though it has many scary elements, it still delivers a pleasant but also intense experience. Even Feifel in American Tail, he's a very simple, positive, upbeat character. He's the one you follow and pulls you through.
I've never
all
seen
these
this movie
tough,
once
scary
and not
things you have
cared
to
for
get
it, but I
by.
need to watch it again.
And I guess that brings me to the final emotion I felt whenever I watched a scary moment as a kid: the appreciation of being challenged.
Yeah.
We're never gonna run out of bright,
Ooh,
simplistic
what
stuff
cartoon
for
is
kids.
this?
It's all over the place. You know, with good reason. We want to see our kids live
Backyardigans,
happy and
I think,
optimistic
or whatever.
lives, blah, 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 blah. But when something does come along that's different or even a
I didn't
little
watch St.
threatening,
Junior as a
there
kid,
is kind of
so
this intrigue. As a kid, you ask yourself, why isn't Secret of Nim talking to me like how Barney talks to me? Why isn't Paranorman talking to me the same way Dora the Explorer talks to me?
because one is a movie and the other one is a fucking cartoon.
I think there's definitely times, whether kids realize it or not, when they want something more dangerous and even questioning put in front of them. Kids know there's things they're not going to understand early in life. That's why
Fully
they ask their
Wonka.
parents so many things.
This part
They
never
ask
scared me though,
because
the
there's a
boat ride.
curiosity to find out about
The
it.
remake scared me
And
more in the first
oftentimes,
movie,
we
or the
forget
original movie.
it's an emotional journey. These aren't the same challenges that a lot of learning programs
Dora.
are putting forward, like
Never
learning
watched
letters
that.
or numbers. It's
I
challenging
watched
kids
some of
with
it, but
feelings that they've possibly never felt before, and bringing those feelings into their awareness. If anything, they show it's all right to be afraid. That's a normal part of life, and the more you can understand it or even confront it, the better off you'll probably be. Now, does this mean every kid should see something as intense as Coraline? Well, it depends on the kid.
yeah.
Every kid is going to be afraid of something different and is going to deal with it at their own pace. What a certain 3-year-old could watch with great excitement, a certain 7-year-old could still be closing their eyes at. It's like roller coasters. You can usually tell by looking at them which one you can probably
Yeah.
handle and which one you probably can't.
Movies,
But
yeah.
you're still given that option of subjecting yourself to that fear. And you know what? Kids should too. Parents can, of course, help out their children discovering what they're ready to take on and what they're not, but it's important to teach that being afraid is not something to be ashamed of. Scary moments
It's
are just
not.
another
I'm still afraid
part
of shit
life,
too, this
and how
day.
we deal with them is very, very important. Scares are healthy for children, as long as it's in moderation. They can be used to challenge,
Monster
educate,
House, that's
and
a good
even
movie to show
strengthen.
your kid.
If we choose to keep all the fearsome,
Especially with
threatening things
Halloween.
away from our kids, they'll never understand how the world works.
Paranorman was a good
little
one
scenes
too.
like this dropped in every once in a while, if carefully done, I think are actually very welcomed additions. They force kids to question without being paranoid, allowing them to be cautious without being terrified, making them realize that there are scary things in the world, but there's also a lot of good things too.
Yeah,
So,
that's right.
as
No,
long
it's
as
not a good thing.
frightening moments is being done for one of those reasons, I personally say there's absolutely nothing wrong with scaring the shit out of your kids.
I don't have kids that have a little brother and niece, but I never.
Especially if we all know that these things are not going to scare us years later. I'm a nostalgia critic, I remember.
I mean, if you know your kid can handle that, I don't see a problem with it. I show my kids scary. I show my brother Patrick scary stuff all the time. I mean, I don't show him anything bloody or anything, but I show him stuff like Coraline. I show him stuff like Goosebumps or Haunting Hour, stuff like that. But I never show him anything R-rated though. But that's a topic for another day. Should we scare our kids as long as it's appropriate? I mean, as long as it's not harmful or actually hurting your kids in a serious way. I mean, yeah. It's like a roller coaster. You have one movie. Say you have Coraline, and then you have, let's see, and then you have Monster House. No. Yeah, Coraline. Then you have the Goosebumps movie. The Goosebumps movie is more like a kid adventure movie, but Coraline is more darker. Which one can your kid handle? They'll point at that movie and they'll say, "Hey, I can handle that movie. I want to watch it." But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on what you do with your kid. What movies you watch with your kid. So until tomorrow, yes, no videos till tomorrow. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Have a good noon, night, morning, wherever you are. And I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out, y'all.